Welcome to Yoga Rocks Box. This is Sky, who we've interviewed on Yoga Rocks Box a couple of times before, and today we're going to talk about a slightly complicated topic. We're being a little bit ambitious, but we'll see what happens. So we're going to talk a little bit about yoga literature, because maybe once you start practicing and you go a little bit deep and you start reading, maybe things become a little bit complicated, a little bit disconnected. Maybe Sky can fill in a few gaps so you can understand a little bit more about where things come from. So, what we're hoping to do is talk a little bit about the Upanishads, the Bhagavad-Gita, Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, and the Hatha Yoga Pradipika, and just put them a little bit into context.
I think so, yeah. Isn't that late yesterday?
Where do you want to start, Guy?
Where do I want to start? Well, I'll start with the Bhagavad-Gita and the Upanishads, because they're closely related. So first we have to see that there's 4 Vedas, and they're basically comprising all of the values, the human values, and helping us to achieve our security, which is called artha, and our desires, get our desires fulfilled in a healthy way, which is called kama, and to live within the healthy universal values called dharma. So artha, kama and dharma is what the Vedas are all about, and it comprises the astrology, it comprises Ayurveda, music, all the sort of ins and outs of dharma and how to live in a sort of highest way with prayers and things that bless you. It's very, very rich. Many details are there. And then that's all pointing towards moksha, which is freedom from suffering, liberation, which is the highest goal. And so the end portion of the Vedas is the Upanishads. And those are all teacher-student dialogues that unfold the teaching that the individual is the whole, non-separate from the whole. And so all of the words are pointing at that very one, that most special of things. But the student needs prior preparation, so that's what the Vedas are for. And the Upanishads are to finish the job off. And the Bhagavad-Gita is all about the Vedas and the Upanishads, all in one great story, one dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. And Arjuna is put in this very difficult situation right in the middle of a battle, where he has to face people that he loves and abide in Dharma and finish off this war that's been started. And so then at that point he questions, what is this all about? Find time to question, what is the meaning of life? And the Bhagavad-Gita very beautifully outlines that, and I feel that's probably the best text to give the whole complete picture of sort of what the journey of our life is about, the questions we have, and to be able to live in such a way that honors all the values and discover who you are in essence. And it's just I just love it so much. Bhagavad-Gita is just so rich. It has to be interpreted the right way, though. That's the thing. All this comes down to the interpretations. So then we move, as brief as we can, we move to the Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, which again need to be translated quite well, because they're called the Moksha Shastra, which point towards liberation. But they also have these 8 steps, finishing in samadhi, and very often that gets translated as this state of experience where you just, you're just blissed out. You don't know anything. And that's a state means you can come out of it. And what Patanjali was pointing to is samadhi is just being able to rest in yourself in and through all states. You're absolutely comfortable with who you are. And so outlining that is the details of the yoga life and some of the a lot of the trials and tribulations that a student passionate about yoga will face along the way. And it's very beautifully done, very rich in its Sanskrit verses. So please find a very good translation. And they say that these ones are to be unfolded by a teacher in a live setting. That if you try to read them yourselves, you can misinterpret what's being said. So in that way, please take care. And this Hatha Yoga Pradipika is it's called a smriti. It's a remembered text, and it's a compilation of, and I don't know exactly when, but at some time many yogis in India were practicing, and then as agriculture started to emerge, there was more settlement, and so they found that these yogis could meet in places in settlements and share what they had known, what they had discovered in their times together in the forest, and the practices, mostly physical practices, but also a lot of cleansing practices. And so they compiled 32 of these essential asanas and poses, and also some of the deeper cleansing techniques, and just the things that support a life of a yogi, really, who's very dedicated to doing the body practices. So the Hatha Yogas is the balance of the body and mind, getting it very highly refined, very subtle, and so that when they come to study the Upanishads, they're ready. They're absolutely ready. They can sit well, and they can meditate for a long time, which means they can listen for hours as the teacher unfolds for them. So the Hatha Yoga Pradipika is not a moksha shastra. It's not for liberation, it's for preparation. And the rest of them will take you the whole way if they're unfolded properly. And my favorite is Bhagavad-Gita. So that's just a brief synopsis, really kind of off the cuff. She only just told me 5 minutes ago. That's Helen's greatness. And so I'm just letting it go. I hope that that's clear, and for those of you scholars, I hope that you can receive what's being said also, and find some agreement, and just feel very blessed that we have that help available to us on our journey. So best wishes and love from a great Triyopetra adventure.
Yoga Rocks Box for today. Fantastic 2 weeks with Sky. We're very, very grateful and truly blessed to have Sky with us this time. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Sky.
Thank you, Miss Helen.